And welcome back to LAX Coaches versus Cancer. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Samir Chaudhry, and we are here pregame for BYU versus Oregon, the second game of the night here in Palm Desert, and it is a lovely evening.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really nice evening. We talked to some of the coaches last night from Boston College. Some of them had never been out west before, and this is just a beautiful setting for an early season tournament for the MCLA. Not only do we have top 10 teams here, but I think we were just talking during the break. We have a bunch of top 5 teams here, actually. And right now, Colorado State playing Grand Canyon. State is up 8-3 on Grand Canyon.
Yeah, and it's Arizona State, the only team from the top 5 that isn't here this weekend. We've got, I think, 6 of the top 10 teams here, with Grand Canyon being the outlier at number 12. So really a lot of talent on display. We had a real barn burner of a game between Chapman and Colorado. Closer than the score, ended up being a 4-goal win for Colorado, but not the big surprise of the weekend so far, as BC and BYU kicked us off last night, and BC coming away with the big upset victory.
Absolutely, and what we saw out of BYU, it's a bit of a young team, but a lot of speed on this BYU team. You have Zach Jordan, who faces off and is a captain, the junior midi at 5'11", 170. He's seriously got a world of speed. A couple of the young guys as well, CJ Raya, who came out and scored his first goal last night, and just serious athletes on this BYU team, and I'm excited to see how they match up against Oregon tonight.
Yeah, and BYU has been one of the teams early this season that's had some sort of surprising results beyond the 12-8 loss to Boston College last night. And again, the score was closer than the score indicated. It was really a couple late goals to push the lead to 4 near the end. But they had a 1-goal game to start the season in Provo with UNLV, and a close game with Boise State. Again, 14-6 is the final, but within 2 goals going into the fourth quarter, and then a 1-goal game with Simon Fraser, who's always tough to play. But you look at a BYU team that generally really makes short work of their early season competition, and to come out and have those kind of results, I mean, I guess it should be less of a surprise that they struggled against BC.
And the last time the Oregon Ducks went up against the BYU Cougars was actually in the MCLA National Tournament last year, with Oregon taking the loss 17-14 and ending their tournament run in the quarterfinals against BYU. And their record against BYU is in the favor of the Cougars, 8-1. So Oregon only winning once against BYU, and I think tonight they're definitely going to be looking to change that.
Yeah, and actually the last victory for Oregon came in 2007 at a neutral field at Indian U. So maybe there's some magic in the air here in Palm Desert.
Absolutely, and so we'll have to see how that goes. Tonight we do have head ref John Bizkowski mic'd up, so we're going to have the opportunity to listen in to him. And make sure to tweet at us. Tweet at Chris at CMarshallTLN and at Lacrosse Network. Let us know your thoughts on the game, some predictions, and what you think about us commentating.
Yeah, no, and then Utah Lacrosse News coming in with a tweet sending out the link. So thank you for that. BYU takes on Oregon in about 15 minutes, so definitely go there. I just retweeted that one if you are looking for the link, which you obviously aren't because you're watching. And Nick Rogers tuning in as well already for this game. But, again, very excited to see these teams out there. And one of the things that I think I'm most excited about is to see all of this new Oregon gear in motion, in real life. I mean, I sent out a picture of the gear, retweeted a picture, and really caught fire. And they're really stepping their game up, just like the football team now with their pretty flashy equipment.
And, we got a chance to catch up with head coach of the Ducks, Justin Eckenrode, who actually played for the Ducks, graduated in 2011, spent some time coaching Western Oregon, and now is at the helm in Eugene. So he's very confident in his young team. He's very excited to get the season started. And he had a lot of words and talked about Sowers, number 22. He's the guy to watch, the points leader for Oregon right now, and definitely a player to watch, a captain on this Oregon team.
Yeah, and you look at some of the early season results for Oregon, and I mean, they haven't played much competition to speak of with wins over Western Oregon, Portland State, and Montana. But the closest of those games was three. It was a 3-goal game with Western Oregon. The first goal, a scrimmage, but they had a 26-2 victory over Portland State and a 16-6 victory over Montana. So definitely a team that is going out there and winning the games that they're supposed to win, which is a sign of a really great team.
And let's take a listen in here to head ref John Biskowski. And it looks like Biz's mic not working tonight right now, so we'll try and get that fixed later during the game. But we're about to get underway here. Chris, what are your thoughts before the first faceoff?
I mean, I think this is a huge opportunity for BYU to prove who they actually are. It's either going to be one of those situations where they lose to Oregon and they really aren't who we thought they were, or they can come out and make a statement that yesterday was a little bit of an anomaly. Or that BC is really legit. So, I mean, I think this is the opportunity that BYU really needs to take advantage of. As they're able to win the faceoff, and already you can see the speed of both of these teams. And there's going to be a flag right off the bat. About 15 seconds into the game, it's going to be a push with possession, and the ball's going to go to BYU. But already creating some matchup problems is CJ Raya, number 44, the freshman D-Midi, really showing some wheels coming around the corner and making the defense push him in the back.
Yeah, CJ Raya, definitely one of the fastest players I've seen in the MCLA. And, this is a big advantage for BYU to start this game man up.
Yeah, and then Arborn's going to bring it in, but I mean, you can't really ask for anything more. I mean, this is a huge opportunity for some momentum building. A nice look inside. What a shot! That's Fabrizio with the jump, quick stick goal, and just like that, it's 1-0 Cougars.
And Fabrizio, what a play! A nice little flash cut to the inside, catches the ball, turns and shoots. That was serious quickness from Fabrizio. A nice goal early for BYU, and Fabrizio was quiet last night. He's the points leader for BYU, and I know we saw some frustration out of him last night, and he's quick to score tonight.
Yeah, and he's a guy that led the team in points last season. He had 52 goals, 84 points, so definitely a guy who can get in a groove and score some serious points, picking up where Ted Farron left off 2 years ago. And another face-off win is the captain, Zach Jordan, moving the ball down. And then Fabrizio loses it and is able to pick the ball back up. But BYU, definitely can hear from the sideline, already fired up.
And the Ducks have to be careful here with a guy like Zach Jordan at the face-off X for BYU. They definitely are going to have to value possession and do something to stop him at the face-off X.
And there's great help defense. You see two green shirts run to that ball. Unfortunate bounce for the Ducks as it goes right to Nick Stevens. And the ball stays with the Cougars, who have maintained all of the offensive possession thus far tonight. And back up to Jordan. And they want the matchup with Fabrizio. As you can hear the sideline calling for it as Stevens looking to get the ball down to him. Fabrizio coming around the corner, takes the shot. Great save by Oregon goaltender as that one stays out. Nice elbow save on that one. You know that felt terrible, but able to get his body in front of the shot. What a save.
And Fabrizio can create some serious matchup problems. Last night didn't score many goals, but he definitely can move around and make the defense move. He draws the slide very early, and if he bangs it twice, then there's going to be a wide open man.
There's Taylor. Nice feed inside, great cut, takes the shot, and again, Lewis looked like he had a good line on it, the Ducks goalie, but tough to get in front of all of those shots from that close in on the run. BYU already taking advantage of those cutters from up top. I mean, you look at the respect that they're giving Fabrizio with that extra quick double. Nice takeaway check by the Ducks as the ball goes to Lewis. Lewis sending the ball up the field, and Justin Knowles back to Lewis. And Ducks need to get something going on offense as, like I mentioned, hasn't even been on their offensive side of the field yet. And then getting trucked, just waiting for the hit, is Justin Knowles, the freshman. Welcome to college lacrosse.
And like you said, Chris, I mean, this is dangerous for Oregon. They've gone the entire game now although we're early in the first, they've still gone the entire game without a touch on offense. They're definitely going to need to get their guys in a rhythm and value possession when they get it on that side of the field.
And with the style of the defense that the Ducks are playing so far, it's hard to imagine that they'd be able to maintain that for very long stretches. I mean, we're looking at 3-4 minutes already to start this game where they've been on offense playing high pressure, or on defense playing high pressure. And, their legs are going to get tired if they don't get some sort of sustained possession on offense. Haas loses the handle and takes the push. And that's going to go BYU's way. It's a real heads-up play by Haas. I mean, definitely got pushed in the back at the 12-minute mark in the quarter.
And Oregon's got to be careful right now. They're going to be playing a lot of defense. They already are playing a lot of defense. They got to be careful to limit their penalties. They definitely don't want to be playing more defense and short-handed defense if they don't need to be.
And there's Yost. Fights off the defender. Gets the ball across. Fieldstead. And so quick. Gets the ball inside, takes the shot, and another big save by Lewis.
And the Ducks with a nice opportunity here. It doesn't look like they have numbers, so it's probably a good idea for them to get the ball down to
Matthew Moore
X.
has a lane there. And the Ducks want a timeout. And I think that's a real heads-up play. At the 11-16 mark, get settled and really start getting some offensive. At the very least, to give your defense a rest, but to get some rhythm going on offense.
Yeah, I think it absolutely a very smart call from the coaching staff there at Oregon. Right now, what they need to do is swing the ball around, let everybody get a touch. Everybody's got to get a feel for the game, get a feel for the catching and passing under the lights, and get a feel for their defenders. So definitely going to be important for them to swing the ball around a couple times, get a couple shots off, shoot for the edges, back up the balls, and just have a nice offensive possession. If they can put one in the back of the net, they're going to be in a really good spot. But more importantly is just to get everybody a touch and have a nice, strong offensive possession here.
Yeah, and have to give a couple of shout-outs already. Derek Fierro wants a shout-out to the Green Valley Gators, so thanks for tuning in, Derek. It's Kirby wants to know how we feel about the Oregon helmets, and that's a no-brainer. It's definitely a custom color with the metallic green lids, and they look great under the lights tonight. I can tell you that much. And another big shout-out to Steve Rollins from Rock'em Socks. Certainly a big fan of those. MCLA LAX on a Friday night. No-brainer. Club LAX for life, former UCF player.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about this Oregon gear, I mean, it's definitely some of the cleanest gear in the MCLA. I mean, both these teams, I think, have great setups, but I love the way Oregon does, all their gear in any of their sports, and I'm glad that Lacrosse is in line with that.
Yeah, definitely a juxtaposition of new and old with the classic uniforms and style of play from BYU and the more up-tempo kind of flashy play by Oregon. And there's Blackmore trying to make something happen, sends the ball across, and unable to pick up the get it on the first try at least is Prosivier. And again, Oregon not wasting any time as you see them trying to cut across. Prosivier trying to get his hands free, not getting a whole lot of help for some movement on the back side.
Oh, and a nice rip there from the Ducks. A big save just pops out of the stick of the keeper, and now C.J. Raya with all that speed
takes a big shot. Lewis with another big save. I mean, that could have been easily 3-0 at this point, and a fantastic move up the field as McCurdy has some speed himself. Big rip by
That's Brent Sowers. Yeah, and he's the go-to guy for Oregon. What a play! Just catch and release from Lake Oswego from Lake Ridge High School, same high school as Connor Martin, and they produce some serious product out of there.
Absolutely, more guys like Mike Clayton, John Clayton from the last game, Nate Barris. A lot of quality MCLA players, but that was textbook fast break. See McCurdy coming up very quickly. It's just bang, 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 shot, goal, Sowers, ball game tied. See if we're going to get a push call on this one. No call as BYU moving the ball up the field. And like you said, Arnston, isn't slow himself, as he's able to get the ball down. A lot of speed on display tonight so far. Even a little high-stepping behind the cage.
And, although BYU has a lot of speed, they have to be careful. C.J. Raya had run that ball all the way down the field, took a shot, and then was so behind the play when it went the other way that Oregon had an unsettled fast break opportunity. So although they do have a lot of speed, they need to make sure that they're wary of that ball turning over and being able to get back on defense.
There's Taggart with the ball, finds Grant, and able to move the ball here pretty quickly, already into their second line, as trying to get the handle on that one. So we're going to get a procedure call going against Oregon. The ball's going to stay with BYU, as Bo Rich is going to keep moving the ball over to the top right. Taggart looking to get inside, quick double. It's Rich, back to Taggart. Taggart likes his matchup. There's Grant. And again, the second unit appears to be looking for the dodge. Nice fake by Grant, turns inside, takes the shot, and another huge save. And that one able to run down by Terada and get it back to Lewis. That one might have spun in, but Lewis doing his best to keep Oregon in the game right now.
And what a fake. That had everybody fooled.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. You see him do that as Sauer's able to dump the ball off to Burke, but definitely a great save, or a great save and a great fake. Oregon taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, at least to start. Samet moves it, nice help defense, doing a great job to move it quickly after the double. Looking the ball, that's great defense, able to get a stick in the line. Can't quite get the communication on as they both went to the man. Ball still down, finally picked up by BYU, and it's Weinberger who comes away with it. And just a lack of communication there from the Oregon Ducks. And a big hit, drops the shoulder, big clean hit. As that ball comes through, here comes Taylor Rich, able to get it to Sowers. Sowers wants the rip, takes the shot, and a possession shot. And look for Oregon to be able to score in transition with 7:42 to go in the quarter. They're pressing and getting the ball in the hands of their playmaker, Sowers.
And Sowers with another rip from the outside, and he looks like he wants to do that all night. I'd advise for another bouncer like he did on the first one.
Yeah, and you see this a careless pass there, and you could see the disappointment immediately from the captain, Evan Merrick, on that one. But you see on that shot, senior goaltender for BYU, Rob Osler, didn't even see it. I mean, he's standing there almost on his heels waiting for it to hit him on that shot from Sowers. So definitely a guy who already has some respect for what Sowers can do on the field.
And, we've seen Sowers take that outside rip. I'd like to see Oregon settle down into their offense, and I'm interested to see who their initiator is and how they're going to start dodging and finding Sowers for that outside rip.
It's going to be an offsides, going for the quick whistle, and they've got numbers. Looking across, can't find either of the cutting attackmen. And that sort of mistake is what's going to really hurt Oregon. They had an opportunity to go in there. They had a turnover on an offsides, had a 3-on-1. And if he holds it just a second longer, he's going to be able to get a better look at that one, as both attackmen trying to get that one and can't quite come up with the ball. And now the ball's back to BYU, who you have to expect will go into their settled offense and take a little of the momentum away from Oregon.
And, importantly, something that we saw last night, BYU does not like being down. They don't like playing down. So if Oregon can capitalize on those opportunities and get a lead, they can put BYU in a tough spot.
And there's Fabrizio. You can hear the defensive call from the Oregon sideline. As they going to the quick slide. Stevens now working for Mex. Nice look inside. Big time shot just off the mark for BYU. But another fantastic look from up top on the cut from Weinberger.
There's Feldstad going to bring the ball back in. He's another talented young player for BYU.
Yeah, the freshman out of Alpine, Utah. Jordan takes the shot just off the mark, but had the goalie Lewis beat.
And Zach Jordan is one of those old-school midfielders. He can run both sides of the field, plays great defense, great offense, takes face-offs, plays on the wings. He's definitely an all-around player, and they got to watch out about how much he plays.
There's Jordan takes the shot, and another one just off the mark, but well covered by Lewis. And this is a problem we ran into towards the end of the last game with a lot of those shots coming on this end of the field going out. It was interesting to see if there's a call, and that's a great look inside and a shot by Nick Stevens, and a goal pushes the lead to 2-1. And what a play for BYU on that one.
And another nice cut there from BYU, from Stevens. Catch and a nice fundamental release, high to low, and just buries that one. A great play by Nick Stevens.
At BYU, we've been seeing this over and over and over again on their offensive already today in this game. They're getting a lot of looks because of the amount of respect they're paying for Brizio and the attackman dodging from X. So their cutters are coming in from up top and being able to beat their matchups and get good shots. There's like a procedure call going against BYU as Oregon now has the ball on offense, gets the ball on Sauer's stick.
And let's see what Oregon sets up in here. See how they look to initiate these dodges. Looks like they got the personnel that they want on the field. 2 attackmen back at X. And I think they're going to be initiating from up top from the midfield.
There's Burke. Moves it back around Weller. And again, this is the slowest we've seen the Oregon offense move. Had a man on the far side, Weller, but opts to pull it back out. Not a bad move. Gets it to Burke. And back up top to Samet. Samet by his man. Nice help looking for Weller on the inside. Can't find him. And the ball goes down, picked up by BYU, and they're back off to the races. That's Evan Klinger. So he's able to get it to Christian Taylor. And again, the Oregon defense playing way out.
And on that last Oregon possession, I like the ball in Blackmore's stick at X. I think he's got great vision. He's quick. He's got a really great stick, and I think he can really gun it inside if those middies start cutting. It's going to be tough to go against those BYU midfielders and CJ Raya and some of their long poles. They're very athletic, and it's going to be hard to get by them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the name of the game for Oregon is definitely going to be in the transition game. Nice cut inside by Arborn. Doesn't get the shot off. Nice help defense. As you see Jordan able to get by and bury the shot. And what a shot by Jordan. Just steps by his defender and puts it where the goalie's not. Heads up shot.
And Zach Jordan there showing his speed and athleticism with 4 minutes left in this first quarter.
And that pushes the lead to 2, the largest of the game. And BYU looking like they want to be back in the top 10 here.
Zach Jordan is tough to stop, and you see after he scores that goal, he's right back up on the face-off X. Definitely just such an all-around player. Great to see that in the MCLA.
Yeah, and then the freshman, Chris Damewood, getting a trial by fire out there at the face-off X. A nice trail check, and that one off the inside pipe. I don't know how that one didn't go in, but right back to Oregon. Great take. Looks like that one is going to stay in if Sauers can run it down, and he does. But what a take coming down from CVA. Evan Merritt now working from up top. It's a great handle, able to keep that one in front of his Kucha. Back up to Merritt. Merritt working on the pole. Looks like he's going to be able to get by, loses the handle. It's going to be picked up by Weller. And Weller back up top for Kucha.
And it's a good idea to keep on going at Zach Jordan. You're definitely going to want to tire him out. As this game goes on, he's going to be increasingly important for the BYU offense and just the BYU team in general.
And that's good body positioning by Sauers, able to get in front and go down and draw the push there and keep possession. But like you talked about with Blackmore coming from X, able to do a really good job finding Sauers, but even better defense, able to knock the ball out of his stick before he's able to get a shot off. Provissier moves to Kucha and then back up top. And that's a great dodge. Plenty of room. Finds Blackmore. Blackmore can't get the shot off. Great help defense. Michael Arnston is so long, able to get out there. Really big kid, 6'6", 220. And you can tell how much ground he was able to cover right there on the help.
Absolutely. But a nice play for Oregon there. A nice dodge from up top. They exploited their shorty matchup that they liked. Went against the weakest shorty there and found Blackmore on the backside. If he's able to catch that, and get a shot off, then that's a goal.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you think about it, if there's a guy that's 6'6", and he's got a 6.5-foot nice bull dodge, loses the handle, biting off a little bit more than he can chew there is Merritt trying to come through. Looked like he had a one-on-one opportunity there, loses the ball, and now Skusin is bringing the ball in for BYU. There's Jordan. Looks like BYU wants to take a timeout, but a little bit of undisciplined play out of Oregon at the 1:43 mark in the first quarter.
Yeah, absolutely there. And Oregon's got to be careful not to get too chippy in the first quarter here. They are down not by that much, and if they can just keep their composure, they're getting good looks on offense. Just make sure, get that ball back into the sticks of your offensive players. I think they definitely need to swing the ball around a few more times, lull the BYU defense to sleep, and then start with those cuts.
Yeah, and it's taking advantage of their opportunities in the fast break as well. They have to score on all their fast break opportunities, and then also be able to make some momentum for themselves in the settled situations, as much for their offense as for their defense, because they've been playing a lot of defense so far tonight.
And you're getting a look at that far sideline. A lot of parents out here, definitely both teams. All the teams out here traveled well. You got a nice look at that MCLA tent, and a lot of these teams getting a nice little experience out here in California. All these teams I expect to see at the MCLA National Tournament in Orange County in May.
If the season ended today, they'd all be ranked in a position to make the tournament. So that's it's a huge nod to what the LAX Coaches versus Cancer is trying to do. Able to raise a pretty significant amount of money for the first time event here. I know I saw a check presentation for $5,100 after the first game, but really exciting to see this level of club lacrosse this early, all in one place in California.
Absolutely, and Oregon going on to play Colorado State on Sunday. You can catch that game right here on the Lacrosse Network. That's at 11 a.m. Sunday Pacific time. So, a lot of top 5 matchups, one after the other, and that definitely mirrors the style of play at the tournament.
Absolutely, and I think that's one of the things that these coaches are looking for. You have to go out there and play, 2 of the top 10 teams in 3 days, and that's what you're getting out here. And it's a great measuring stick for where you need to get before tournament time. It's Haas looking to get inside, loses the handle, ball still down. 2 white shirts over there. It's good help defense, able to pick the ball up. There's Taylor, and able to get away. But that's fantastic man ball play from BYU. Very disciplined lacrosse.
And up top here, this is Hayden Dixon. He had a great game on Friday night. Another athletic player for BYU. I really like his style of play, and he draws the flag right there. Yeah,
as the junior out of Vegas, captain. But definitely one of those players. Is Oregon able to fight through the double? And what a dunk shot by Chris Weinberger, the senior, and he goes up there like he's LeBron James.
Absolutely, and he's wearing 22 for a reason. What a play there. Hayden Dixon comes above GLE, pushing the right side, and finds him cross crease. That's just a fundamental lacrosse play, but definitely finished with a lot of athleticism there from Weinberger.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have that one. All go back onto Hayden Dixon. I know you were talking about him, and he's one of the captains, of course, but he goes out there, draws the penalty, holds it for 10 seconds, draws the double, and is able to send it across here with 32 seconds to go in the first, and it's 4-1 in favor of BYU. Really looking strong out there tonight. Pick up by BYU, loses the ball, going for the pass there. You see Fabrizio not afraid to mix it up, and finally picked up by Oregon, and fighting through everyone, trying to get his hands free. And gets it to the left, diving across, buries the shot. What a play by Prosevia. Unbelievable with 4 seconds to go. So athletic, comes out of the scrum with the ball, fights through everyone, and cuts back across his body, diving with the left with 4 seconds to go. And that's the kind of goal that can bring your team back. Now just the lead at 2.
Yeah, what a goal there from Oregon. I mean, they needed that with 4 seconds left in the first. What an effort there. And just buries that one, does whatever it takes to bury that. And if we're talking play of the game so far, I mean, that's got to be it.
Play of the night. I mean, that's incredible. And especially with 4 seconds to go. I mean, that's one of those times when you really, want to try and build some momentum going into the second quarter. So don't go anywhere. It's 4-2 BYU. I'm Chris Marshall with Samir Chaudhry, and you're watching the Lacrosse Network.
Hey guys, Mike with Total Lacrosse. Here today to check out Brian's Triumph 2 shoulder pads. Let's take a look. The impossible is now possible with the Triumph 2 shoulder pads by Brian. These lightweight, breathable, and durable shoulder pads will keep you safe so you can keep going all game long. AeroShield technology is strategically placed throughout the sternum and shoulders, allowing you to stand up to large impacts. The Triumph 2s sport an updated strap system and a perforated mesh jacket that provides protection in its most flexible and breathable form, while a ventilator liner wicks away moisture so you'll never sweat the competition. Hope you guys enjoyed a look at the Triumph 2 shoulders. You can get these and all other Brian products at TotalLacrosse.com. See you next time.
And welcome back. Just about ready to get the second quarter underway. 2-goal lead for BYU.
And just a reminder, this game is brought to you by Total Lacrosse. All the games at the LAX Coaches versus Cancer event are brought to you by Total Lacrosse. And make sure to tune in tomorrow for the SLC game of the week, and that's between Chapman and Boston College. An opportunity to win some free lacrosse gear from Total Lacrosse. You can head to their Facebook page tonight and predict the score of that one. Win a $50 gift card to Total Lacrosse, as well as a free platinum membership. And tomorrow during the game, we're going to be giving away gear, so make sure to tune in. Follow Total Lacrosse at Total Lacrosse on Twitter. Tune into the game and find out how you can win some free gear. And Chris, what do you think about that game? What's your score prediction?
Maybe I'm a homer, but I like 11-9 Chapman.
Wow.
There's Jordan, who, again, we talked about not afraid to go to the cage after winning the face-off. And going against the freshman, Damewood, really, really struggling early on.
I got to say, nice play there. But I was impressed with Chapman tonight. I think they look good. They got some new players. But Colorado is just the superior team right now at this point in the season.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair to say. I mean, and you see, they did lose a few players on defense. But, I think they're going to be disappointed coming out here and giving up 15.
Hayden Dixon here, and he's got a nice shorty matchup. Any of these BYU middies with the shorty matchups, they definitely have to go, and I think you'll probably see Hayden Dixon setting up high here. He wants to take a run.
Dixon giving him the right. Wants his left. Nice little hitch move. Takes the shot, and that one just off the mark. But very athletic play in the cage from Lewis so far. Nice rollback. Taylor looking for the cut across, able to just bounce right out to Hawes.
I like Hayden Dixon dodging. I think he's a great dodger, great stick handler, and has a high lacrosse IQ.
I mean, Sam at the senior has been doing pretty well.
And that was in the back of the net. Wow, what a goal there from Jaden Hawes. He just goes off the inside pipe and bounces out.
And that's one of those you see pretty disappointed on the Oregon side of that one. It's one of those things that it's very close, pretty clearly hit the net, and so it's obviously a goal, and that pushes the lead to 3 at 5-2. But definitely a disappointing play on the defensive side for Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon's been playing a lot of defense this game, and that's definitely what they're going to have to change here. They're going to have to start cutting off Zach Jordan at the face-off X. And once they can clear the ball, they got to value that possession.
It looks like that's going to be a no call on the push, but Damewood able to pick up the ball and looking across for Sowers. And I think that's going to be just a change of possession. It looked like maybe it gotten tipped, but Damewood eyes getting big on that one and unable to find Sowers on the cross crease pass. As Sowers goes in, nice move, cutting across from Michael Norton, able to take it across himself. And Norton's got a lot of room to work with. wisely passes it off to Taylor. Taylor back inside for Norton, who's running towards the cage. That one's picked up by BYU. It's Fledstead, who's been playing fantastically well so far for a freshman, again out of Alpine, Utah.
And, you know, when we talked to Coach Eckenrode before this game, he told us that they have 18 freshmen on the Oregon Duck bench right now, and not only on the bench but on the field. So I think you're seeing some of that youth right now. It's early in the season, and you know, they're pushing a few things that they probably won't push later in the season.
And there's Taggart trying to fight through the whole defense. And ball still down, picked up by Oregon, and moving the ball up the field. Nice work, get the ball to O'Rourke. And all of these defensemen for Oregon, very athletic, able to take it themselves. And it looked like that's the route they're going to take, as Prosiviet able to get that one across. And that's going to be an offsides going against BYU, as you see number 40, Fletchstead, coming across and going 7-on-6 on the defensive side. Prosiviet inside, moves it, and takes a big push in the back, but the ball's still down, and it's going to go to Oregon, but it's going to be an offside. 30-second technical going against BYU, and this will be our first look at the extra man unit for Oregon.
And another huge opportunity here for Oregon. Put another one on the net and put it in the back of the net, but an opportunity for them to really swing the ball around and let the ball do the work. Show off some of their stick skills and get a nice shot.
And I think we've really been able to see what Prosiviet has to do. And there's a big shot, that one in the back of Jordan. And that feels terrible. But nice look across, and again he wants it, takes the shot, and you can see Jordan cognizant of that coming in, leading with his stick and not his body. Doesn't want to get hit with another one of those. But that pass is there, and he wants it again. And he misses the handle there. Looks like that one might stay in bounds. Prosiviet able to run it down. And just back up to full strength as you see BYU coming through the middle. And nice look inside, takes the shot, and buries the goal. Sowers again, his second of the game, cuts the lead to 2 at 5-3.
And, you know, that's always a great opportunity to score right there. Unsettled as BYU is getting back to even strength. They're not sure if they're still playing man-down defense or if they should be marking up on their man. And right there, Sowers, high lacrosse IQ to take advantage of that. Flash cut to the middle of the field, catch, turn, and shoot. Very fundamental play from Sowers.
And then 10 seconds to go in the half, lead at 2. And BYU, a team that only could manage 8 goals last night, looking like a team that can go out there and score 14 or 15 tonight. As Jordan holding the ball up top, waiting for the offensive unit to make its way onto the field. As you see Klinger as well as CJ Raya coming off the field for the Cougars.
And, you know, I thought with although they ended up scoring, I thought Oregon could have done a better job on that man up. It seemed like their plan was really just get it up top and let it fly, and it didn't really work for them. I'd love to see them swing it around a little bit more and find something a little bit more open on that man up. They definitely have to value those opportunities.
Yeah, and it's, you know, the 30-second penalties are tough, and what a rip by Jordan. No chance for Lewis. Just tucks that one in the far side, off stick, hip. Nothing you can do.
Zach Jordan. I mean, we talked about him all night last night. We're going to do it again tonight. Just such an athletic player. Just great play right there. Just going lefty. He really shows that he can do it all. He plays defense, offense, face-off, righty, lefty. He can do it all. Definitely one of my favorite players to watch.
Yeah, he's certainly very much an old school type player. I mean, I think that you get a lot of as that one goes off of Biz and Oregon can't find it, picked up by the Cougars, who are all over it. As you see Klinger able to get that one going. And Cougars spending a lot of time on their offensive side of the field right now. I mean, all game. See Fabrizio able to almost get around the corner, and you see how athletic those defensemen are for Oregon. Not very many of the defensemen are going to be able to run him down after he gets a step on him. Stevens back to Jordan. Jordan has a shorty. Looks like Oregon might be in a little bit of a zone here. As you see, they switch the pull up top. A lot of talking coming in as you see Arborn taking his defender down, wanting to work from X, going on the ISO. Has the shorty. Nice look all the way up top. But opts to pull it back out. Interesting to see if we'll see a stall warning call here and go into that 30-second shot clock.
And we saw a few last game. I was definitely surprised to see that. That's on the outside of the net there from Nick Stevens. But we saw a few last game. I like that call. I like to see a sense of urgency and keep the game moving faster.
And on a rope, what a pass. Can't quite come up with it, but the ball's still going as Sauer's able to get it. Flag is down on the other side of the field, so Oregon with an opportunity potentially to score a goal and go up a man.
And it looks like that flag is for an offsides, if that's not the second flag on the play here.
But either way, a good opportunity, very low risk opportunity here for Oregon to try and get a quick one.
And if they in that man up, if they go back to that look where they want that shot up top, what I would love to see is Merritt throw a hitch and fake the shot and then pass it into the middle. I think they have a good opportunity to do that with 2 shots from up top last time. BYU is going to be looking for that.
There's Burke. Back up top to Rich, another one of the freshmen who's getting significant starting time for Oregon. Nice look across, looking for Sauers. Cut across. Again, there's nowhere to go. 3 white shirts as the ball is finally picked up. And you see one to see if they're going to get the flag there. No Laundry coming through, and you can hear it from the BYU sideline. It looked dangerously close. It was inadvertent, but I kind of feel like you might have to call that one on Weller.
I need to report. First one, 9, white, offside. He serves 30-second. Second foul, player in white, number 6, interference. He serves 30 seconds. 2 players for 30. 2 players for 30.
And then got Biz on the call there. So two players down for 30 seconds. I believe goal will wipe both of those out. But 6 on 4 right now. Big opportunity to cut the lead to 1.
And you got Merritt up top, and that's what they went to last time. Again, I think they're in a diamond look right now with Sauers at X. If they're going to look for Merritt up top, let's see a hitch. They switch around right now.
And playing very kind of far out in that box is BYU. Say Prosiviet all the way up top. And for being up 2 men, they haven't really had any real glaring opportunities, and that one off the mark. And you can see the disappointment from the coaching staff of Oregon is now still up 2 men. And sorry, now finally back to full strength, but big missed opportunity for Oregon.
And I gotta say, Chris, I don't like that diamond look when they're 2 men up. You're playing 4 on 4 then. And you got Sauers at X, so you're really playing 3 on 4. So they didn't have any opportunity to get a shot off with 2 men in the crease and Sauers at X. I would have loved to see them go in a 3-3 look or even a 2-3-1 if they want Sauers at X.
Yeah, that's definitely it's something that they're going to have to look at it at halftime and see if they can make some adjustments the next time they go out for a man-up opportunity. It's Taylor. And update on the CSU Grand Canyon game, 8-6 W for CSU. Fabrizio able to fight through everybody. Hawes up top, looking to Taylor, and again the swarming defense of Oregon, really making it hard for BYU to get any good looks. Nice flip pass by Fabrizio, can't find his man. But Oregon doing a great job, and now they're off to the races. This is where they are very dangerous with 6 minutes to go on the fast break. And opts not to pull the trigger on that one is Merritt. And comes back around, takes the shot finally. The goalie way out of his cage, that's Osler. And then able to get the ball up to Dixon. And Dixon knows what to do with it, slows it down, gives his players an opportunity to move up the field. He's got to fight through the attackman and able to get by. Takes one in the back there. Fortunate not to get a slash as Sauers.
And Hayden Dixon, just so calm with the ball. He's one of those middies. It's the reason why he's a captain here on BYU. He's just one of those middies that when he has the ball on the stick, you're comfortable. Even though he's got to run through 2 attackmen, you're comfortable.
And there's a big save getting low very quickly as Lewis Fabrizio able to pick the ball up, back up top, and a huge shot coming from Christian Taylor. Low to high laser.
And way to change planes there for Christian Taylor. Drop the stick down low, raise it high. Goalie had no chance at that one.
And that's one of those things. You see how well Lewis has been getting low, and he sees him start low, and that's why it's so important to change the plane on those shots.
And BYU definitely controlling the game right now. Oregon with a few chances man up. And they have to capitalize as this game goes on. If they get more man-up opportunities like that, they absolutely have to capitalize on them. And to go back to that score you just brought up, Chris, that's a close game.
That is a very close game.
I mean, we're talking about the #1 team in the nation, and I like Grand Canyon. We're going to see them later on in the year on the SLC Game of the Week. But, I like Grand Canyon. They're a talented team. They're very well coached, and they're a seriously up-and-coming force.
Yeah, and it's one of those things. They lost their best player, who's one of the preseason player of the year candidates in Carson Barton, who is a spectacular player, really exciting to watch, and still able to put a team like CSU, up to a pretty tough task. And I know I was up here at the Chapman game, but hearing from some of the coaches who were watching that game, it was 4-3. I think into the second half, GCU. So
right.
Definitely impressive on the defensive end.
And again, we're going to see Colorado State on Sunday at 11 a.m. Right here on the Lacrosse Network, taking on Oregon. And I'm excited to have the former national champions on the Lacrosse Network.
Absolutely, and it's interesting to see. They're a real interesting team for me this season because they lost the majority of their starting players, and they came off the national championship, and they're always a tough team. But they lost enough talent to where. In the U.S. lacrosse poll, Arizona State was #1. And that's something you almost never see, is a team coming off a national championship and not at least starting the season at #1.
And if we're talking about some rankings here, I gotta talk about Colorado. I was so impressed with their offense right there. I mean, Riley Seidel and Jack Cranston, those are two former D1 players, and it really shows. They got D1 size, and they're playing at a D1 level. They're playing on another level than everybody on the field.
Well, and that's a Chapman defense that is, it's pretty close to being intact. I mean, they lost LSM Hap Knowles. They lost Jordan Levesque, who was a D1 transfer himself out of Ohio State. But they kept their goalie, and Zach Nickelman is a returner on defense as well. And that's a team that only allowed 8 goals a game last season. So you go out there and you give up 15. It's really, really impressive work on the Colorado side of the ball.
And so, Chris, what do you think Oregon needs to do to get back into this game?
They really just need to cut down on the unforced errors. They're doing a pretty good job defensively playing that press defense that they've been doing. But they've got to do better on man-up, and they've got to cut down on the unforced errors. And I think that'll help them get some momentum back in their corner because they certainly have the athleticism and the exciting players in their lineup.
And, Benton Sowers with 2 goals on the night so far. I think he's a fantastic shooter and a great offensive player, but I just haven't seen him do it with the ball in his stick, just be able to carry and, really be a command out there on the offensive side of the ball. They definitely need a leader.
And Jordan, I think you see some of the guys, Fabrizio can't come up with it. That's good defense, and there's nice help defense, and that's going to be a push going against BYU. Close call on that one. Samet's going to be able to bring it up himself, and what a check by Fabrizio with the wrap. Just knocks the butt end clean off that stick. And then takes it down the field and able to keep it in his stick, fighting through the double, and wisely pulls it back out. But what a ride from BYU on that play.
Very impressed with that ride from Fabrizio. Usually your stud attackman, it's just great to see when your stud attackman has the ability to ride like that.
Yeah, and it's something that'll really help the younger players. We mentioned this earlier. Both the teams very young, and that one right into the chest of Lewis from Haas. And able to corral it Gets it to Prosiviet, but you get a guy who's like a leader, who's your leading scorer, who goes out there and sells out on the ride. It's a great example for the other players. Prosiviet takes the shot, pays the price, take a big one in the side, but the ball stays in bounds and staying with Oregon, and he pops right back up and wants the ball. You see him waving his stick, and that's the kind of play you want to see again out of those players. Prosiviet is a junior and really trying to take over this game for Oregon.
And that's great individual effort. I think, what Oregon really needs right now is in this settled offense. They got to take command. They need somebody to step in, calm everybody down, and run this offense.
With 2:30 to go here in the half, Oregon looking to, again, slow this down, it looks like. An unfortunate bounce. That one goes right to Jaden Hawes, and he's running, keeping that one in his stick, doing a great job at that. And takes the shot, and what a rip. That one coming from Chris Weinberger. Top shelf, the senior, making it look easy.
And Weinberger catch and release and just buries that one. And again, that's end-to-end action, and it shows you what a turnover can do from Oregon. Blackmore with just an unforced error, just not a great pass up to the top of the box. And goes right into Jaden Haas' stick, and BYU's dangerous there. They're too athletic, they're too fast to let them just go on a break like that.
Yeah, and that pushes the lead to 5 at 8-3. So they've already equaled their total from last night. So BYU taking it personally.
And CJ Raya, he's got a world of speed.
Takes a shot, bounce shot. Great work by Lewis to get in front of that one. That was a really solid effort. As you see them going back onto the break, and we talked about this like not 2 minutes ago about the unforced errors and what Oregon's doing, and we see a couple of them already coming back to haunt Oregon.
And just
he's still got it.
Feldstead still has it there. There's too many turnovers for Oregon right now in the first half. We'll have to see how they're able to adjust in the second half here as second quarter is coming to a close.
I mean, they definitely have the ability and the offensive firepower. They're making mistakes. They look like a young team. Feldstead trying to come around the corner, takes the shot, and that one sneaks in, and there's the goal for Feldstead, and he is fired up, saluting the sideline.
And Feldstead, the freshman, I love the way he plays, so smooth when he's dodging up the field. Just a great stick handler, and he's going to be a phenomenal player for BYU as he continues to play here. It's just amazing to see a kid that smooth at such a young age.
Yeah, he's looking really strong out there, and that's a really kind of demoralizing goal. Not only for Oregon to put them down 6, but to go off of the stick of Lewis and then into the goal is always disappointing coming from that position. Sowers now with the ball, just over a minute to go in the half. And Oregon wants to talk it over.
Yeah, and Sowers there taking a little command, and again, he's their captain. And let's see how that plays out. You got to want the ball in his stick or in Merritt's stick. Some of these seniors, the older players, there's a lot of freshmen on the field, and they're definitely going to have to calm them down. It's a big game under the lights against BYU. A lot of guys, this is their first time playing a top 10 opponent, and it's important for these seniors to come in and calm this game down.
Absolutely, and BYU, they went home and looked themselves in the mirror last night after that loss, and they came out and wanted to show everyone that this is a BYU team that is not having an off year and maybe just had an off night, and they're looking very, very strong right now.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, a few of the BYU players not on the field last night. Weinberger wasn't playing, and a few of the other guys. So it's interesting to see now that they're really at full strength, and coming off of that loss. But the question is Boston College the real deal this year?
I'm excited for that game tomorrow because Chapman's going to have a chip on its shoulder coming away from this game earlier today with the loss going against. Not to take anything away from what Colorado's doing out there. I think they're a very legitimate contender for the national championship, but Chapman is definitely going to be want to be where BYU is at tomorrow.
Absolutely, and when we see Colorado State on Sunday, I'm interested to see their level of play because Colorado is playing a high level of lacrosse in the early stages of this season.
Yeah, and that's something that we've seen as we come to the end of this half here, and that's Burke coming in, but that they've been historically kind of a slow starting team, so it's scary to see them playing like this already. And not a whole lot of time to work with here at the end of this quarter is Burke trying to make some space for himself. A lot of individual play from this Ducks team. As you see them pushing way out, not wanting Samet to get the ball, forcing Oregon to go into that into the pole look.
And a great play from BYU's defense right there. Very well coached to force that matchup and take the ball away.
And there's going to be a slash going against BYU. I mean, that was a pretty clear slash going against Klinger as things are getting pretty chippy. I mean, it looked like he was trying to cut a tree down in there right across the midsection. I mean, you'd have to think that Oregon, maybe takes a shot, maybe holds on to it and takes advantage of being able to start with the ball in the second half, which could be a good momentum thing for them going into halftime.
Yeah, and I think, maybe they want to get one quick shot off, shoot for the edges, chase the ball out of bounds. That's it, though. Hold the ball and keep it for half.
Gets the ball to Sowers. Provisiet.
10 seconds left here, so I think they're going to hold on to it.
He's got to make sure he stays in the box. And that's going to do it for the half. And it's going to be halftime. So we see the ball coming to the end, and again, it's a 9-3 lead for BYU. Oregon able to come back and get it to 5-3, and looking like they were more in this game. And BYU just started pouring it on.
And BYU just so athletic. It's amazing. They even played last night, but it looks like their legs are fresh, able to run up and down this field and run all over the Oregon defense.
Yeah, and it's been impressive. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the second half. So don't go anywhere. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Samir Chaudhary, and you are watching the Lacrosse Network.
Welcome to Total Lacrosse. I'm Anthony Kelly, Team STX member and member of the Ohio Machine. Here today to talk to you about the STX X10. The X10U is the next generation Excalibur and is compliant under NCAA and NFHS rules. This head is very popular among defensemen and long stick middies. The X10U comes with the signature STX trestle design, which provides extra strength and stiffness while keeping the head weight very light. There are also multiple stringing holes for easier stringing. To purchase your STX X10 and other great STX products, please visit TotalLacrosse.com. Thanks for watching.
Hey guys, Mike with Total Lacrosse. Here today to check out Brian's Triumph 2 shoulder pads. Let's take a look. The impossible is now possible with the Triumph 2 shoulder pads by Brian. These lightweight, breathable, and durable shoulder pads will keep you safe so you can keep going all game long. AeroShield technology is strategically placed throughout the sternum and shoulders, allowing you to stand up to large impacts. The Triumph 2s sport an updated strap system and a perforated mesh jacket that provides protection in its most flexible and breathable form, while a ventilator liner wicks away moisture so you'll never sweat the competition. Hope you guys enjoyed a look at the Triumph 2 shoulders. You can get these and all other Brian products at TotalLacrosse.com. See you next time.
And welcome back here to Palm Desert, California. We're here at the LAX Coaches vs. Cancer event. Samir Chaudhry here with Coach John Galvin of the Colorado Buffaloes, coming off a big win against the Chapman Panthers. Coach, what do you think about a win that big early in the season?
Well, yeah, it's a great win, and we played a great team in Chapman, and I think it was something that both teams were really fired up to play tonight, and it was an up and down game and scored a lot of goals tonight, so we saw some good action, and it's a good early win, but it's exactly that. It's early, and we got to keep moving forward. So.
And how about playing a team like Chapman? Opening up the season with a team like Chapman.
Yeah, I mean, you have to prepare a lot and pretty much prepare for yourself, and hopefully it works. And we had some information on them, but they had some information on us, and so it was kind of just get out and play. And I think Coach Hartley does a great job, and we're excited to play a top level team so early in the season.
And talk to me about playing in an early season tournament like this with top 5 MCLA teams. You're out in California, hoping to come back here for the MCLA National Tournament. But talk to me about this kind of an event early on in the season.
Well, I think Matt Holman's done a great job, and we're really happy to be out here. And I think there's a lot of great teams representing the MCLA, and it's fun to see the Oregons, BYU's, Boston College, especially from back east. And we're excited to see some of the really solid teams in the MCLA playing here for the weekend. And hopefully we can kind of continue to do it over the course of some time, and we're happy to be out here. So.
And you guys had some very impressive play out of some of your attackmen. Jack Cranston moving down to attack. Talk to me about that decision to move him down there.
Well, coming back, you're always trying to take a look at the difference, your different teams, and I think at one point, we as a coaching staff sat down and said, I think Jack could really help us by being on the field, and we were happy to have him. And we've got a lot of great middies that can definitely run through. I think we ran through about 10 to 8 middies tonight, and everyone played great. And we have got a lot of guys that can be out there, and so we're trying to play a lot of guys that I think can really help us out. So, and Jack moving down to attack was just it was a situational thing that we had to do to accommodate as many guys as we can. So.
Definitely, you just saw CSU take the victory over Grand Canyon. Your in-state rivals. What do you think about them being here? I know you guys aren't playing against them, but both you guys down here in Palm Desert.
I mean, Coach Smith and I were just sitting over and watching a little bit of the Oregon BYU games together and just kind of chatting. And they're a great team, great staff, and we're always happy to play them. And we play so late in the season. I think right now is just we're focusing on our teams and really trying to get the best out of our group. So.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Great victory tonight, and we look forward to seeing you again on the Lacrosse Network.
Thank you, Samir. Thanks, guys.
And welcome back to LAX Coaches versus Cancer. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Samir Chaudhry. And we have had a considerably less competitive game here in the evening contest between BYU and Oregon. BYU coming out to the huge lead, 6-goal lead at 9-3. But Oregon showing some flashes of brilliance, but can't quite put all the pieces together yet.
Yeah, and importantly to remember is that Oregon is a very young team. 18 freshmen on this team, new coach. And it's very early in the season. Definitely some flashes of brilliance from this team. Impressed with Sowers and some of the other middies on Oregon, but they're just going to have to calm down and put the pieces together. We haven't seen them swing the ball around too much, and I think that's going to get important throughout the season, valuing possession time and just being able to operate as a six-man offense.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be another one of those big opportunities to take that momentum back starting the second half, where they're going to be a man-up opportunity, able to hold on to the ball, kind of a heads-up play to keep possession.
Absolutely, and we really haven't seen too much out of their man-up yet. It's going to be really important for them to get a good shot off here, and if they can bury the rock here, they got a good chance of getting back into this game.
Yeah, it's a momentum game. We saw Chapman and Colorado go on 4-goal runs, and in the last game, and so both of these teams, especially Oregon at the pace that they play, are very capable of going on a 4 or 5-goal run. I mean, even earlier in this game, they got down early and were able to cut the lead to 2, and I think it's just a matter of cutting down on their unforced errors and making the extra pass.
And something that I'm really impressed with is that BYU played a game last night, and they don't look tired at all. Their legs look fresh, and all their guys, their athletic guys are just as athletic as they were last night, if not more.
And I mean, I think that's something to think about. I mean, I heard that the BYU guys came in overnight on their bus, and that's always tough. And that's a great save, as
Brandenburg there,
Osler,
the second goalie. Coming in for BYU, a goalie change. They did that yesterday, and Brandenburg had some trouble seeing the ball. Different time for the game, so he hopped in right as the sun was going down, and he had a hard time seeing the ball against Boston College.
Yeah, both the goalies in the early game seemed to have a little bit of trouble finding the ball in the second half. So, I mean, it's always that dust time is always challenging. But Zach Jordan able to get the ball all the way down the field for BYU, and Fabrizio now able to hang up his man, gets the double immediately, cuts it all the way across the field, thinks about the shot from way outside. Can't get the handle is Grant. A nice little kick-out play, and jammed his stick in. That's why you use two hands, kids. But gonna get the call going the other direction as Oregon's able to pick it up.
And I'm curious to see here if the BYU coaching staff starts cycling in some of their younger players. Not to say that they have too big of a lead here, but I've seen some great talent out of their younger players, and getting some experience in a game like this, going in on a midi line with some of the veterans, I think could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, and those Perceviat doing what he's been doing best, able to get the ball up to Samet after fighting through the double and getting the ball across the midline, as Merritt now running downhill, gets the ball, moves it. Blackmore looking across. That one, I think maybe he was looking for Sowers, who has been pretty quiet since scoring that first goal. But you can tell that BYU giving him a lot of attention. And back up top, as you see, there's a lot of dodging from pretty deep up top as Samet coming in looked for the pick and able to move the ball around to Weller. Weller looking for some space. Oregon opting to go for the ISO here on pretty much all these in kind of a 1-4 situation. This Proseviat cuts back, and we saw him score one like that diving across, but great short stick defense from Grant. Weller down to Blackmore.
And a nice possession here for Oregon, swinging the ball around, getting a couple of dodges. Here's Sowers.
Loses
the handle.
not
Sowers, that was Merritt.
And that was a great check coming across, and then big time hit, takes 2 hits, going to draw the flag. As you see that late one coming in, that one looks like it's going to be on Merritt. It's going to be a cross check. And you see Biz just clearing everything up.
We have player in green, 1-8 with a cross check. Cross-check was to the above the shoulders. He'll serve 1 minute full time. Free clear for White.
So that's a non-releasable penalty. A good call there by Biz. But BYU with another opportunity to go man up and extend this lead.
And with as good as they are in their man-up offense, I mean, such a disciplined team. Again, I mean, along the same lines as CU and Chapman. I mean, they have an opportunity. It's a full serve penalty, like Biz said. So to score more than one on this in this man-up opportunity. Nice look inside on the skip. Gets the ball back up top. Takes a big-time rip, and the shot just off the mark coming from Stevens.
Like you said, they're definitely going to want to push it from X here, get it up top, get a goal, and then get another opportunity to go man up.
See, moving a lot on the crease is Dixon. And Fabrizio looking to move before he got that one in his stick and just missed it. Lewis is able to get it, start moving the ball up immediately. And Samet's going to bring it up. And he's running right by his man. That's impressive speed. To get his hands free, looks like he was going to take the shot. Blackmore back up top. Prosiviat, nice little hitch move inside the face dodge, rather. And by one man, but he's taking some pretty big checks to the shoulder and to the back. Wanted the flag, as you see him pointing at the official after that first one.
Blackmore's got his man hung. Let's see what he can do here. Brandenburg coming out, and Blackmore feeding across the crease.
And then too much to handle. And you see that's a great call from the official. It's going to be an offsides with seven men.
Too many men. White. Too many men on the field. Illegal procedure. 30 seconds. In home to serve. I need you in home, coach. Starting attack, and then someone onside. It looks like number 6 will serve the 30 seconds.
Interesting that Fabrizio is the in home. But another opportunity for Oregon to go man up. They're in this diamond set again. It looks like they're going to be swinging around a little bit, but 2 guys in the crease for man up.
And they have to be thinking that they want to feed it into the crease if they're doing that. And it's like they've been all outside shots on their man up. Gets the ball, takes the shot, and again another big save. As the BYU goalies have been coming up big tonight. As Brandenburg, a couple of really good saves in a row. Jordan bringing the ball up, and BYU doing a good job of getting the ball in the hands of their best players. Big time hit on Jordan. See if he keeps the ball in from Weller. Ball still in, and finally out of bounds, and that one's going to go BYU's way. But that's a huge hit coming from Weller. And you see Weller trying to get in the way and push him back. It's a pretty good call there from the official. That one went out about 2 yards on this side of the midline. But heads-up play from Weller either way. Nice hustle on the ride, and then doing his best to try and push them back.
I think Oregon's going to have to change their man up. The diamond look with 2 guys in the crease. These outside rips are just not working on the BYU goalies, so they're going to have to switch it up and try something different on man up if they're going to get those opportunities.
Well, and you've been seeing Sowers. They've been trying to feed the ball into him inside, and he's been doing a really good job of getting free. They've just been having trouble hitting him. So, I mean, you'd have to think that him sneaking around from X and coming up, because he hasn't been moving up beyond GLE to create some space for himself, and just haven't been able to make it happen for Oregon. And about 10 minutes to go in the third, as BYU really taking the air out of the ball right now.
With a 6-goal lead, they're definitely very comfortable. BYU, this is we talked about them being uncomfortable, being down. This is this is where they're comfortable. Up 6. Swinging the ball around, taking their time on offense.
Like it's going to be a push going against Oregon. Stay with BYU. That's going to get the hold calls. You hear from the sideline is Jordan. Oregon doing everything they can to stay in front of him, and Prosiviat not super happy with that call, waiting for it as Biz giving him an explanation. But with as athletic as he is, it's even more impressive that Zach Jordan is able to get by. And then shout out to Kevin Proctor tuning in again for this game, talking a little bit about the field. And it's definitely been some dust out here today. Some of the especially in the big scrums for the ground balls been kicking up some dust.
And BYU with a nice 3-3 look for their man up. Tried to feed it inside to Hayden Dixon, not able to connect there.
There's Lewis on a rope. Nice look. It's Turin trying to get by, runs right over his man there, and able to get the ball down to Sowers. Now Sowers holding it, making sure they get getting their offensive unit on the field, staying mainly with that first line as Lucas Kucha comes back in the game, and Sowers going to hold on to it. Take a look at the matchups they've got and see where they're going to take this. Again, going all the way up top, Samet looking inside, and that's great short stick defense from BYU. Oregon just hasn't been able to get anything going on that dodge.
And Samet, as he's dodging there, he's got a big body and he can run by his guy. I think he's got to look to dodge to pass, and I think the rest of the offense has to be on the same page there. Let's dodge. Let's move the defense around. Let's get a few passes and find an open man. It doesn't always have to be a dodge to shoot.
And I mean, I think that's partly a product of the teams that they've been playing so far this season. They haven't run into a team that can defend them as well as BYU can. And you go out there, and it's nice to beat a team by 20 goals, but you're not going to get that same sort of matchup when you're playing against one of the top 10 teams in the country. And there's a great check coming from Zach Ibsen, knocking that ball right out of the stick. It's a big fake coming from Wiley. But BYU, the Turf Gremlins, are out tonight, making their way across as Arborn brings it up.
And a good thing to note, I mean, an important thing to note is that a good team defense, you're going to have a good team offense to beat it. You're not going to be able to beat a team defense with individual effort, with isolation dodges. It's just not going to work. And I think you're absolutely right that they've been playing some teams where it's probably been easy for them to run right by one guy and take a shot.
And BYU, even when they're playing a team that might have more talent than them, which isn't very often, they're so disciplined in the way that they play that they're able to play teams that are better than they are very well. Fabrizio coming around the corner, dunks it, and that one goes in right over the top of the goalie, just sneaks in after it hits the post, and the lead is now 7 at 10-3.
And Fabrizio definitely not quiet tonight, able to come up above GLE, and he's dangerous there with 6:28 left in the third quarter.
And that's one of the he beats his man and just goes jumps over the top. And it's almost like one of those MLL dunk shots, really. He's so close into the crease, and this one's looking like it might get ugly. You see there here for the kick the cross, and there's the shot and another goal. That's 2 goals in 10 seconds, and that's Fletstead again scoring for BYU, and it's 11-3. Might be time for the Oregon Ducks to talk it over.
Absolutely, and that was a beautiful fast break there. Ended by Feldstead, the freshman, such a young talent for BYU. Again, he's so poised. To catch that ball, he knew he had time. He turned, he placed it very well. He's going to be a serious force for BYU, not only this season, but for the next 4 years.
And there's great hustle play coming out of the freshman, and there's going to be another slash on 20, and he is really looks like a young Hamilton Pollard out there.
He's a big guy, absolutely.
But unapologetic, throwing serious cuts out there. And you see the slash. That's at least his second of the game. I mean, there's a couple ones that he's gotten away with as you've been watching him play. But now the refs are going to be looking for it, so he's got to be careful he doesn't find his way on the sideline permanently for this game.
And a man-up opportunity here for Oregon. A little bit of a different same diamond look for them. It just shifted a little bit. 3 guys in the crease now, 3 on the perimeter. And you got to think they want more guys on the perimeter when they're man up.
And it's as you see, they're not. Oh, and there's a nice look up from Sowers, and then they score the goal from Sowers, his second of the game. But they shift their look just a little bit and get their offensive moving, and just like that, they're able to score a goal. Interesting to see that they didn't go to that earlier.
And a few new guys stepping in for Oregon. But there, I was critiquing the diamond look, but I thought they did a great job there of shifting and overstacking the right side, giving Sowers enough room to come up, catch, and turn and shoot. He's their best finisher, and now he has a hat trick tonight.
And definitely keep your comments, questions, anything you got going. Send them to me at CMarshallTLN. Love to hear from you here tonight.
And some new attackmen now down there supporting Sowers. You have Riley Smaller, the freshman from Malibu, at 6'1", 195, who just stepped in, number 2, as well as Jeff Snyder, another freshman from Amador Valley from Northern California. So 2 freshmen attackmen now stepping in to work with Sowers, and it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But again, so much young talent on this Oregon offense and Oregon team. I think they just have to get comfortable playing college ball.
Yeah, and I mean this is one of those opportunities we talked about. Emptying your bench at the end of the game a little bit. And there's a great fake from Fabrizio again. I mean, I can't say enough about how well he's playing in this game. I mean, he's clearly the difference. Had an off night last night, and off to the races tonight.
Wow, I mean, how many fakes can you throw there? That was truly amazing from Fabrizio. Throws 1, 2, 3, 3 fakes. I thought he had already shot it. It takes a few more steps. Everybody was frozen, and he just buries the rock with. And that's how many goals is that for Fabrizio?
4 on the night.
4 goals for Fabrizio on the night.
I mean, there's plenty of time left in this game. I mean, he could have 6 or 7. It was interesting to see how long they keep him in the game. I mean, I guess at this point you might want to try and run the score up on this Oregon team. And again, there's that big pull for BYU, Arnsten, who's 6'6", and then takes
another
a big hit.
Flag down.
Things are definitely starting to get chippy for both these teams. BYU's definitely a team that's not afraid to get a little chippy. So Jordan gets it to Fabrizio. Fabrizio pulls it back out, and again, it's an opportunity. Probably going to be a push with possession going in, but kind of a free shot at the goal as Grant downhill by his man, no slide, takes the shot. Great save by Lewis. Ball still down, and a big hit by Oregon. Oregon making some big hits out there, but haven't been able to get it going in terms of the consistency on either end.
Okay, time-serving foul, player in green, number 2. Illegal body check is the call. He'll serve 1 minute.
And there's the illegal body check. Again, it's a serve penalty, so another opportunity for BYU to get some really good looks for a full minute on this penalty.
And that's Riley Smaller, the freshman from Malibu High School.
And just like that, it's so quick. Fake low, Feldstedt, and he's having himself a ball game too. It's so poised. You talked about him when he scored his last goal, but he dips his shoulder just a little bit, waits for Lewis to go down, and puts it right in the back of the net. Really impressive play out of the freshman.
You can tell he was a playmaker in high school, and he's used to being a playmaker, but stepping up into the college ranks and being a playmaker on a team like BYU, he had himself a good game last night against Boston College, but as this season goes on, he's going to be a very big piece of the puzzle for the BYU offense.
I mean, sometimes that's all it takes is getting a game in college to be able to gauge the pace of the game and what your teammates are going to be doing and what the defense is going to throw at you, and then you can settle in and start playing the kind of lacrosse that you know how to play. But BYU definitely looking like a BYU team we're used to seeing tonight. Out to a 9-goal lead. And again, this is not a matchup between a top 10 team and a team that's not ranked. I mean, Oregon preseason is number 8 and coming off of 3 pretty big victories already in this early season. And this is just a testament to how good the competition is here in this tournament. Nice bull dodge, lowers his head, just trucks Dixon, and the ball goes back. It's probably going to be a ward call there, but Dixon has it for BYU. but paying the price and getting the ball for his troubles.
But, Dixon takes that one, but just pops right back up, grabs the ball, and is just he's still got a pep in his step as he's going down the field.
Must be nice. That's the one thing I'm glad I don't have to do anymore is take hits like that.
Dixon at X, and he's got a shorty matchup, a nice invert look for him. He can definitely operate from back here.
You look for Fabrizio after the slide here to try and get free, and you see, and a little work from him is he takes a step into his defender before he moves, and that's just a heads-up play, and that's going to be a cross check, I believe, in the back going against Oregon, and another opportunity for BYU here to take a free shot at the goal.
Another flag down. I mean, a lot more flags in this game than we saw in the last game. It's just unfortunate that they have to play so much man-down defense.
Yo's coming around the corner. Looks like that one's going to sneak all the way back onto the defensive side of the field. Still down. That one going to be a
nice play by
big
Feldstead.
push in the back, and that's going to be another flag down there, and they're probably going to go 2 men down.
Feldstead, the freshman, running across midfield and working to get that ground ball again. Very impressed with him tonight.
Yeah, and just 2:08 to go in the quarter. BYU, let's see what Biz has to say about this one, but probably going up 2 men.
Okay, we have two time serving fouls on the green team. The first foul is player in green, number 1-1, cross check. He'll serve 1 minute. Second foul, player in green, number 2. It's a push. Young man, I hope that's not directed at the official who's standing right here as you're coming by doing that, okay? Because we could upgrade it from the push, but we'll keep it at 30 seconds. 2 men for 30. 2 will release. 11 is in for a full minute.
But Biz, stern but fair, as he's able to explain what's going on here. As the Oregon player's a little disappointed in the call there. It was pretty clearly a push from here, and he was standing a lot closer than I am. So learning a free lesson tonight. And that one off the helmet, and that's great. That's great movement from Oregon. And then Lewis able to get the backup there, and you see the hustle off the field as they're able to get a shorty on for that 4th pole and see if they can waste some of this time. Lewis again looking very athletic as he cuts back across. Loses the handle, but doing a good job, and then has to get rid of it. But
Fabrizio, nice ground ball there.
Fabrizio, trouble from here. Misses it, and then Lewis trying to get back there, but Feldstead not going to let the backup happen again. And they're back to looks like 1 man. And what a laser beam shot, top shelf. Nick Stevens couldn't have put that any further in the corner. Unbelievable shot. Puts the score to 14-4 in favor of BYU. And that's one of those things. He popped the ball out and just gave it everything he had, and he could have put it any further in the corner. That's a really great shot.
And BYU really pouring it on right now. Oregon definitely, going to need to calm this ball down. I think it's important for them. They got 2 freshman attackmen in. They got a lot of young guys on the field. Get them some experience. Run some of your systems, and try and win the little battles here. You got to score 1 goal before you can score 5. So definitely try and win the little battles, win the ground ball battles, win the face-offs, try and run some systems, run some guys through. And it's important now to really keep your composure and continue playing hard in this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a tough lesson for these Oregon guys, especially all their young players. I mean, you think that they come out and, really put a hurting on a couple of teams and probably expected to come out here and do the same to BYU. And I mean, I think this is going to be a valuable lesson for all those young guys out there, that there are some really good teams that show up every night to play. There's Prasivia takes one, and then nice wrap check. Again, BYU's short stick defense, and unlucky break for Zach Jordan as he kicks that one out, and Oregon's going to keep it. But you see these Oregon guys come in and try and break down the short stick defenders, and they just can't get by. Takes one, and then 20 again. Fortunate enough to take a break is Cantoni able to, Merritt able to bury the shot on that one, and takes a pretty good one in the back for his trouble.
And that's a great play by Merritt. We've seen a lot of individual effort out of the Oregon Ducks and a great play by Merritt. Just a nice lefty rip, just lets that one go in front of the cage. Impressive. But I think what Oregon would really like to see is some assisted goals. some assisted goals, some team offense. But that's a great effort. It's great to see them, really pushing throughout this game.
Yeah, and then we had a question coming in from Derek Fierro on who we think the most dangerous player on the BYU offense is. I mean, pick your poison. They've got some really, really talented guys. I mean, Fabrizio is playing great, as well as Feldstedt. I mean, either one of those guys are really number one guys across the league. We're going to get another penalty, and it's going to be another slash going against BYU.
Ducks with a great opportunity here to put another one in the back of the net. Let's see if they switch up this look. They had a nice look to Sowers last time coming up from X. See if they want to push the offense all the way to the right and stack it and give Sowers some room to operate on the backside.
And that was definitely what worked for them in the last possession. So we have to think they want to get the offense moving again. See Sowers starting with it. And he's going to hold on to it, and that's the end of 3 quarters, and they're going to have the ball to start the 4th quarter for the second time in a row. And be sure to stay tuned for the 4th quarter of action with Samir Chaudhry. I'm Chris Marshall, and you're watching the Lacrosse Network.
Welcome to Total Lacrosse. I'm Anthony Kelly, Team STX member and member of the Ohio Machine. Here today to talk to you about the STX X10. The X10U is the next generation Excalibur and is compliant under NCAA and NFHS rules. This head is very popular among defensemen and long stick middies. The X10U comes with the signature STX trestle design, which provides extra strength and stiffness while keeping the head weight very light. There are also multiple stringing holes for easier stringing. To purchase your STX X10 and other great STX products, please visit TotalLacrosse.com. Thanks for watching.
And welcome back to LAX Coaches versus Cantor, the matchup between BYU and Oregon, the second of the night. I'm Chris Marshall, joined by Samir Chaudhry, and we're about ready to get underway here in the 4th quarter.
And thanks, everybody, for tuning in from home. Definitely want to give a shout-out to Total Lacrosse, and Total Lacrosse is bringing you all the action here from Palm Desert at the LAX Coaches versus Cancer event, as well as through the season with the SLC Game of the Week. Launch off the SLC Game of the Week tomorrow with Boston College taking on Chapman. And don't forget, you got opportunities to win free gear and watch some great MCLA action all season long, brought to you by Total Lacrosse.
And getting the possession straight away after holding onto the ball in the box is Oregon. A real heads-up play. It's the second time they've done that. They did that to end in the first half as well. So no face-offs to start the 3rd or 4th quarters. And Sowers looked like he had sees Perceivit and gets by. Nice shot, and what a save all the way across his body. Unbelievable play from Brandenburg. And now BYU is off to the races and just about ready to come back to full strength. And then takes one in the head. Lucky not to get a penalty there. And there's the laundry on the field, as we're going to see another man-up opportunity for BYU right as they come back to full strength.
And a nice face dodge there on that man up, and I thought that was a goal, but Brandenburg just steals that one away. A great save across his body. It just, unfortunate for Oregon. They got a great look, but BYU's not going to let that one by.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those things. It's a tough lesson to learn, but I mean, you really got to change the plane of your shot there, or throw a fake. The BYU's having a ton of success cutting across the crease.
Wow,
and then throwing fakes.
fake.
And that's the second one we've seen like that from him. I'll tell you what, it's Alec Grant cuts it across. There's another flag down, and that one off the pipe, and it's going to make its way out of bounds. But let's see what the calls are going to be here.
3-4-0, slash on the back, 1 minute.
And it's going to be another slash. This one going against Matt Samet of Oregon, and it's been It's been nothing but penalties for both these teams all game.
Yeah, I think both coaches, again, it's early in the season, but I think both coaches are going to come back and watch this broadcast and try and figure out a way to limit these penalties, because both these teams, as they go on into their conference tournaments and into the national tournament, penalties like this, that's going to be season ending in the national tournament.
Absolutely, because the other teams aren't going to, especially this later in the season, aren't going to give you the kind of penalties. I mean, that has to be, closing in on double digits for penalties on Oregon.
Nice look down there to Fabrizio, not able to connect is Jake Arbin and Lewis with a great pickup.
And that one's on a rope. Trying to get the ball all the way up the field on a 50-yard pass. It was deflected out of bounds. Fortunate that one stays with Oregon, as Sowers trying to fight through the double team here and see if he can run out this penalty, and loses the handle. And there's going to be a flag down, and it's going to be a flag going against BYU, and we're going to see some 5-on-5 lacrosse.
Wow, and so the flag's going both ways tonight, but definitely, these are top 10 teams that just cannot be playing this much special teams, this much man up, man down. It's just not what you want to see. This many penalties out of these two teams.
Yeah, and you see, I think one of the things that the defensemen specifically for BYU have to look for is they've got some guys who are really big guys, and I think the important thing for those defenders, and it looks like there was a penalty on Oregon as well. So it's going to be 2 seconds of Oregon man down 4-on-5, and then 30 seconds of Oregon even
5-on-5.
5-on-5.
Yeah.
There we go. I think we got that situated.
Yeah, playing 5-on-5 ball here, so it'll be interesting to see. I think they're going to do a lot of that, the dodging and the isolation, just not able to connect there on that pass. But, 5-on-5, it's always interesting to see what guys do. I think it's always important to keep somebody behind X in that situation, but it's interesting to see what each coaching staff likes to do in that setting.
And that's a great poke, riding that backhand, textbook defense. And Oregon, not afraid to put their hard hats on and make some hits. And you can see after the first game had a player from Chapman dive into the stands. You could see everyone clearing the way when they saw both players for Oregon at BYU heading towards that SLC sign. There's Samet. And nice dodge by Merritt. Gets it across to Blackmore. Blackmore down to Sowers. Sowers looked like he had his man hung up there. Look inside for Weller. Weller almost with a spectacular goal. And more big saves in the goal for BYU. It's amazing that he was able to get low that quickly. That was a really spectacular shot and would have been a great goal if it hadn't been such a good save. And there's Fabrizio on the hands of his defenseman, able to get that ball through, and BYU wants to talk it over.
And, I got to say, to talk about this Oregon attack unit that's on there right now, the starting attack unit, Sowers, Weller, and Blackmore, this is definitely a really talented attack unit. When you see even that shot that Weller took, great stick handling, great hands, just not able to swing the ball around the offense tonight and get much going. I think as the season goes on, you'd hope to see them get a lot more chemistry because they're all great as individual players. It's just that team offense that needs to come together now for Oregon. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, they have the kind of athleticism that you'd like to see them be able to play like a 2008-2009 Chapman team, where they're able to put up 15, 16, 17 goals a game. Through their ability to score in transition and quickly through offense and use all that athleticism to their advantage. I mean, these guys have a long way to go to get to a team to where a team like that was, but they have all the tools in place to be able to do that, and not all the teams can say that.
Absolutely, and seeing BYU tonight, I'm very impressed with their midfield as well as their defense. Both goalies playing very well tonight, and they definitely look a lot more comfortable than they did against Boston College.
Yeah, it's definitely. I'll be excited to see how they're doing for the rest of the season. They're going to have a lot of big matchups. I mean, they've got Michigan State, who's highly rated this year, Colorado State, UC Santa Barbara, Cal Poly, excuse me. But I mean, you're looking at 4 or 5 teams in the top 10 still left on their schedule. Michigan State at 7, Santa Barbara at 6, Colorado and Colorado State at 1 and 2. So it's going to be there's going to be no shortage of competition on their schedule. That's for sure. So it'll be interesting to see as the season progresses how these teams are able to play.
And I got to say, take a look at that MCLA website and mark your calendars for Colorado State. That regular season game, they play that in Mile High, and that is going to be a barn burner.
There's Bo Rich trying to get by, and they like the ISO here, trying to use his body to his advantage. 5'10", 180, pretty stocky kid. And there's Bo Rich again, trying to get inside. Back up top. Takes the rip, and that one just off the mark coming from Weinberger.
And Fabrizio coming from X, and he likes his matchup. Turns, a nice shot, nice save from Lewis there. Fabrizio, though, is very dangerous dodging from X, especially when he gets above GLE.
When he's got that Kyle Harrison jump shot working for him, too, he's able to create a lot of power on that one. Nice little sidestep move. Siviet, and then takes the shot and buries it. And there's a big goal for Oregon, even if it's just for pride, to put some in the back of the net. And you can see they're all fired up to score that one. And that's, again, pro Siviet on the goal. And, he's had a bunch of opportunities like that, and that's, the first one to fall in a little while, but definitely impressive show of athleticism from him tonight.
Yeah, and it's great to see that the entire team very fired up about that goal, and it's important. They got to, when they have successes here late in this game, it's important to look at those and learn from them and learn from their mistakes as well. So, it's going to be interesting to see how Oregon bounces back from this. They got a huge game on Sunday against Colorado State. They got to keep their composure, keep poised, and learn from this game.
And again, there's no give up in these guys, and that's something that's, you can't teach either, really. You see these guys who are playing as hard as they can, even though what a handle on that one coming from Merritt, able to get inside in a 60-yard pass from Lewis. But these guys are playing hard. I mean, they're down 8 goals, pretty deep into the fourth quarter, and they're still going as fast as they can.
Merritt going against Jordan, and you can see Jordan a little tired right now. He runs the entire game. What a hit.
And it's a good clean hit. I mean, that's something you like to see out there. Looks like that one's going to find its way out of bounds, and another fan or another player into the stands, and Feldstead ice in his veins right away, straight out. Nice look inside, and Taylor looked like he had some time to take that shot, and then tries to go across the crease, picked off by O'Rourke, and Oregon back down on the offensive side of the field.
And how about Feldstead there? I mean, what a pass. Sidearm pass and another flag down here in this game. But a sidearm pass down to Christian Taylor, the freshman, just so impressive tonight.
And it's and the thing about that penalty too is it was late. It was unnecessary. He was coming across the line and gave it a full swing there. And you're up 8 goals. You're gonna draw a flag there.
And number 44 on BYU, you're going to see him right now up top. He's guarding 11 on Oregon. But dare I say, he reminds me of Chris LaPierre from Virginia. He's a big, strong midi who can run. He reminds me of him when he runs, and he's a physical guy. He's got a similar shape, but as the season goes on, it'll be interesting to see him at the defensive midi position. If you guys agree with that, make sure to tweet at us at CMarshallTLN and at Lacrosse Network. But CJ Raya of BYU reminds me of Chris LaPierre.
And there's Samet coming in, working on the pole, and Oregon doing a pretty good job of holding the ball here, knowing that they've got a penalty coming and ball down and picked up by BYU, and that's going to do it. But that was DeLumpa, the sophomore, coming into the game and losing the handle with 8:21 to go in the game. See what Biz has to say.
1 minute.
And it's going to be a
7-2-1 coming out at 7-2-1.
And it's pretty clear slash on that one. Biz throwing the flag, and it's going to be against Christian Taylor for BYU. So let's see if Oregon's able to get something going and get this score back to a more respectable number here. Sprosiviat holding on to it, looking for Sowers, thinking about taking the shot himself. Sowers moves up. Preciviate back down to X. And again, it looks like they're shutting off Merritt. An interesting move. Sowers loses the handle, wanted the shot there, but playing 5 on 4, and it's really kind of opening up. And that one off the inside pipe. Unlucky break as Weller's able to pick it up. Now Sowers gets it over. Nice move inside to Preciviate. Takes a big hit. And that's a great play from BYU, able to get across. Preciviate coming across. And that's, really moving well is Fulkerson, who's a pretty big kid at 6'1", 200. Nice look across. Takes the shot. And another big save. And then Sowers gets it in. And that's another fantastic save by Brandenburg. I don't know how he got in front of that one. Sowers tried to get him on the quick stick, but that's 2 big saves in a row. And BYU gets it going back on the offensive side. Here comes Klinger, and able to get the ball dropped off with Weinberger, and BYU slows it back down. And the Cougar sideline is fired up.
And Brandenburg having himself a night tonight. I mean, a few just phenomenal saves from him. And that one, Sowers thought he had that easy dunk. Quick sticked it, and Brandenburg right there to stop it.
It's Arbon coming across, taking the rip, and unable to get that one on the frame as Fletchstead brings it up. And so much room right there. That one right into the chest of Lewis. As Oregon trying to go back on the break. And that one sneaks all the way through, takes the hit. And that's going to be a change of possession there. I mean, Oregon just kind of sloppy in their play here. They're creating opportunities, but there's unforced errors in the way that they're carelessly running about the field. And under 7 minutes to go now in the game. As Arbon taking it down, got by his man, looking to feed now. Has Stevens. Looks like he might like his matchup. Working on Merritt. It's Arbon again. Looks like he's looking to feed, but he's not afraid to shoot it either. Takes the shot, and that one off the pipe. Picked up by Oregon, and they're back off to the races. And again, so much speed on this team as Kuchar runs by the first man. Finally caught by Jordan. But I'm really impressed with their athletic prowess. And there's Samet coming down, moving the ball over to Blackmore. Blackmore turning the corner, takes the shot, makes the pass, and that one's just on the outside but draws the flag. I think it's going to be a hold going against BYU. Let's wait to see what Biz has to say.
30 seconds. One player in white, number 1, 2, number 12, holding atop the crease, 30.
So, Chris, you were right. That's a holding call. It's a 30-second penalty there. Oregon with an opportunity here to run their man up and operate in their systems.
And they were actually getting some pretty good looks, better looks, playing 5 on 4 without that player in the crease. So it's interesting to see how they adjust. They're looking more comfortable, at least in the offense. They're getting some movements, throwing some picks across the inside. With 5 minutes to go here in the fourth.
This penalty's about to release. I got to get a shot off.
And back to full strength, but Sowers is going to bring the ball in. And shortage of balls on the end line cost them a quick start on that one. And this one, I think BYU actually the home team. So and that's going to be another hold. As Preciviate comes inside and scores a big goal again and takes a late hit. And that's another one coming in. BYU's going to make you pay the price if you come in there for that and take the shot.
And he's a tough player. We've seen him go through the defense a few times, dive, and on that one you see he takes a hold, draws the flag. It's wiped off, but just an amazing player, an amazing effort there. And definitely the type of guy you want on your team who's going to put his body on the line, to score a goal.
Yeah, and I mean, there's just under 5 minutes to go in the game now, 14-7. But Oregon doing some impressive things here, and able to get the ball back inside. There's Rich, gets it to Sowers. Sowers slows it down. Back up to Samet from up top, and Rich, one of the many freshmen, gets it back to Samet. But Oregon putting together a nice little run here with 3 goals in a row.
And again, no matter what the outcome of this game is, I think it's important for both teams to take a look at this broadcast and really study it and learn from it, especially the Oregon Ducks. Some of these young players, I got an opportunity to watch some film and really understand what went right and what went wrong in this game.
This Prosiviat right by Jordan, takes another shot and scores a goal. That's 2 in a row for Prosiviat, and it's 8-14 just like that, and finding their way back into this game. Interesting that they haven't been going to the pole on Prosiviat because he's so dangerous and really starting to hit his stride late in this game.
Yeah, he's extremely dangerous. You're going to have to put a long pole on him. I mean, you can't let him play against the shorty. It's too easy for him to get by, and he's too tough. He has no problem taking a hit. So you got to put a pole on him and play him real tight, not let him touch the ball because he's hot right now.
Yeah, and Zach Jordan is no slouch defensively. And there's another big win for Rich, who seems to have Jordan's number right now. And you mentioned earlier that Jordan looked tired, and maybe he's out of gas.
Yeah, I think Zach Jordan's one of those guys who plays the full game. And in the beginning of the game, you saw him score goals, win faceoffs, run up and down the field. And in the fourth quarter, it's difficult for him to keep playing like that.
And they're still giving the shorty to Prosiviat from way up top.
He's going. He's got to go. It's not any shorty. This is a fresh legs midi right here.
And loses his footing, still gets the pass off. It looks like Blackmore's going to be able to run it down. But amazing how fresh Prosiviat still looks.
I'd go right back to him. I'd give him some room up top and go right back to him. I don't know that with 3 minutes left here, I don't know that I'd dodge against a pole.
And Samet coming down. Takes the rip, and pretty good shot from where he was under high pressure. And the ball's going to stay with Oregon as Sowers is going to bring the ball in.
And there's another flag down on the field. Looks like a cross-check. Let's listen into Biz.
Player serving time. Player in white, number 20. The call is a cross-check. He'll serve 1 minute.
And sorry about that, a little loud there from Biz, but you saw it's a cross-check from BYU.
And so it's going to be I know that the likelihood of Oregon making a comeback at this point is not good, but really kind of putting the pieces together a little bit here in the second half, taking advantage of what looks to be a little bit of a tired BYU team playing 2 games in 2 days. But definitely take the opportunity to use this as a learning experience. And if they're coming out, and Prosiviat takes the shot, hits one of the defenders in the back of the leg, and he looks hurt down. And what a big rip and a shot! And just like that, it's 9 goals for Oregon. And you can hear the sideline getting fired up. That one coming from Jackson Burke, the sophomore, and Oregon creating some momentum for themselves right now.
And that player that got hit from BYU is Zach Jordan, and he's taking a beating right now in the final quarter of this game. But Oregon really putting the pieces together here. And again, no matter what the outcome of this game is, I think it's very important for them to watch this and understand and learn from it, because they're really putting the pieces together.
Yeah, and it looks like Zach Jordan, he's gassed. I mean, he's standing right next to us now, and he looks really tired. And it looked like that one hit him in the
35 seconds.
And so it's 35 seconds.
35 seconds. Man down 35, man down
serve
fake.
Penalty. I mean, this is a big opportunity for them to cut the lead to 4. Still man up in this one. Interesting plan, switching the pole on the far end of the field there. I mean, Rich has had so much success getting it to himself. I suppose that's what they're banking on.
Yeah, and I think they want to keep their man-up unit on the field right now so that they can go. If it's a fast break, they have their best stick handlers on the field, and they want to just go right into it.
As Rich comes out, and Prosiviat's going to come back on the field here, but it's starting to certainly be considerably more exciting.
Oregon playing with a lot more swagger now. You see it; they're a lot more confident. They're they're playing with some swagger, and they're moving the ball around real nice. They're taking shots like that. They're taking rips from outside. They're real confident with the ball in their stick, and I think that's important for them to take with them the rest of the season.
Yeah, and 2 minutes to go. Still a 5-goal lead for BYU, and they're back to even strength now. But and there's a nice takeaway check coming from Ibsen to get the ball back for BYU, and looking for the crossfield pass right on the money into Fulkerson's stick. And Fulkerson going to take it himself, going to take a big hit and loses the handle. And Oregon, again, not afraid to lay the hat.
How about that? Just a big hit here, but, BYU's got some serious size on their team. Not afraid to take the hits either.
Yeah, and Fulkerson is listed at 6'1", 193, but he looks more like 210 to me. And there's a nice look over the top. Looks like that one's going to stay in, and BYU wants to talk it over after a 5-goal run. And with 1:17 to go, you have to think that BYU's probably just going to try and sit on this one. Maybe get the ball in Fabrizio's stick or Zach Jordan and let them run some clock off.
Yeah, and at the end of this game, we are seeing out of Oregon some top 10 play. I'm impressed with the way they were moving the ball down there, impressed with the shots they're taking, and I think that all comes from Prasiviat. He really put the team on his back. He took a lot of hits inside, but although he's able to score individually, they got to figure out how that fits into the team offense. If he's going to be able to dodge inside and draw a lot of the attention of the defense, then pop it outside and find an open man for a nice shot. You saw that with Burke on the last one, the low to high rip. So I think a lot to learn from this. Some really talented players. Just figure out how does that fit into the team offense.
Yeah, and I think that, along those same lines, you get a guy like Prasiviat who's able to come down there, and you've seen other people have success as well, guys like Samet, but see Sowers sneak around the backside and able to get open there, and as well as cut across, like you said, guys like Burke creating their own shots, but Oregon certainly picking up the pace here in the fourth quarter, especially, and looking like a team that wants to come out here and keep this game close. And I think if Oregon goes out here and loses this game, 15-16-4, they might drop out of the rankings. But they come out here and lose this game by 5-6 goals, and it's a much different situation.
And they're going to double Fabrizio early. The goal's wide open. It'll be interesting to see if he takes the shot.
And he does. And then Fabrizio puts it in. That's 5 for him on the day. Really kind of doing what BC did to them. It's not my favorite thing. As a coach, I would probably not tell them to do that. But I mean they're players and they're doing what they're going to do. And at this point too, it's one of those things where when the game gets closer, coaches are already thinking about the tournament, thinking about the national championship, and games like this, even though early in the season, do count. And if you have a quality win over a team like Oregon by 7 goals, then it's a really impressive victory because it looks like Oregon has the talent to put the pieces together to make a run later in the season.
Absolutely, and if I'm Oregon, I'd rather not double the ball and take the goalie out of the cage. I'd rather play team defense and keep working on that. And continue to use this game as a learning experience. You get to play a team like BYU, who's a tournament team, and you get to work on your defense. Maybe throw some young guys out there and let them play defense against guys like Hayden Dixon and Zach Jordan and Feldstad. Instead of it looks a little bit like chaos right now. Nice takeaway though.
Get the ball, and that one runs into the back and then kicked right into the stick of CJ Raya. And last 30 seconds here, but I'm not mad at Oregon going for the double here. I mean, it's something that it's tough to recreate in practice, and especially you're playing against a top team who has really, really good stick handlers, and BYU putting another one in the back of the net again late. That one coming from Jaden Hawes to push the lead to 16-9 here with about 10 seconds to go in the game. But certainly some interesting play to end these games so far this weekend. But definitely stay tuned. I'm expecting the game tomorrow, the official SLC game of the week here at the LAX Coaches versus Cancer tournament. BC versus Chapman to be every bit as good as this the game earlier today versus CU and Chapman.
And, make sure to head over to Total Lacrosse's Facebook page and predict the score of that game. An awesome opportunity to win a $50 gift card to Total Lacrosse. So definitely make sure to get there, facebook.com/Total Lacrosse. You got tonight and tomorrow morning to predict the score as this one comes to an end.
Yeah, and looks like final score here, 16-9. A a couple of late goals in the empty net from BYU. But again, some flashes of brilliance from Oregon. I'm expecting big things out of Oregon. You said 17 freshmen coming in. I think they definitely have all the tools to be a top team, and a real statement game for BYU coming off that loss last night. So I can't tell you how excited I am to see the season unfold for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And Oregon on Sunday taking on former national champion Colorado State. That's going to be a great game. But as you talked about, tomorrow, the SLC Game of the Week brought to you by Total Lacrosse. Make sure to tune in for that. Make sure to head over to their Facebook page, predict the score, follow them on Twitter for an opportunity to win free gear. And before we close out tonight, I definitely have to give a huge thank you to Total Lacrosse for bringing the broadcast to you guys, broadcast all weekend, as well as the SLC Game of the Week tomorrow, as well as Matt Holman and the EMW Foundation. What a great event this is, Coaches versus Cancer. Definitely a huge thank you to him. Yeah, and again, proceeds from this going to the American Cancer Society. It's a great event, great lacrosse. Very happy to be here bringing these games to you. Special thank you to Julian back behind the curtain, as well as best lacrosse filmer in the game, Ted Bendrick behind the camera, and all of you for watching. We wouldn't be able to bring these games to you if you weren't watching, so appreciate all of you. For Samir Chaudhry, I'm Chris Marshall, and as always, stay laxy.